You're not that bitch or nothing, but you still ate that little one thing. You ate that one thing.
Listening to Jennie's album, then Lisa's will make you giggle because you can tell who is an artist and who's cosplaying as one. If you had told me a couple of years back that Jennie would have the most artistic, creative, well-rounded album among all her members, I would have looked at you and laughed. But surprisingly, she did. This album truly showcases Jennie's artistry in a way that was previously overshadowed by YG's influence. The direction he had her take diluted her potential, making it seem as though she lacked artistic depth or originality, but this album proves otherwise. Jennie just released her debut album Ruby, and these are my honest thoughts and opinions on it. The worst, most unbearable track to listen to on her album is Like Jennie. She wasted a perfectly good production on a shitty-ass song. The lyrics are horrible. It's as if she's desperately trying to flex with every tired, cringeworthy middle school-ass comebacks she could think of. This song sounds painfully forced and juvenile. I keep saying the hardest songs to make are songs where an artist is just bragging and clapping back, because it must be written well or else it just comes across as corny and cringe. I can't believe she tried to make a wannabe bad bitch anthem with these cringy-ass lyrics. And this only reinforces my point that none of the Blackpink members are real rappers. Even with ghostwriters, the best lyrics Jennie could come up with were, "Special Edition," and "Your AI couldn't copy," or even worse, "Get out of my way before Barbie turns into Chucky." She knew to leave that shit in Korean. The lyrics in this song ruined it. What a waste of a good production. But that excuse of a rap song aside, let's talk about the rest of the album. For someone like Jennie, who is supposed to be the face of luxury, the visuals and music videos for this album was subpar. Besides Love Hangover, everything else felt like a low-effort production. Like Jennie wasn't even a music video, it was more of a half-hearted dance performance video. With weird-ass angles, the extra-large video was shot in what looked like an abandoned warehouse with musical chairs. I know music videos are expensive, but I expected something more high-budget from Miss so-called Chanel herself. But visuals aside, I liked all the singles that she released. Mantra was a cute little bop that you will forget about in a couple of weeks. Love Hangover was perfect. Extra L was great. It was catchy, it was fun. Doche was a perfect addition to the track. Now let's talk about the new songs she released on her album. The intro is basically a lo-fi lullaby. It sounds dreamy and atmospheric, but instead of grabbing your attention like it should, it's trying to put you to sleep. Like Jennie was horrible. It's a perfect example of how awful writing and execution can completely ruin what should have been a standout song. Star Wars was good. Jennie describing herself as a down bitch made me laugh. The lyrics were comical, but lyrics aside, I love how she played with the auto-tune. Handlebars failed to hold my attention. After Jennie's first verse, the song was a complete snooze fest. I almost fell asleep halfway listening to the song. The song acts like a filler you expect to find on an album that's just trying to fill up space, rather than a memorable collab. With the IE, was a pleasant surprise. The J-Lo sample was smart and used effectively. Whoever wrote this song for her did a fantastic job, because although she was bragging and clapping back, it didn't come across as cringe or corny. Unlike, like Jennie did, her rap had a solid flow, and everything about it just clicked together. Zen is perfect. I loved this song when it first came out. I initially enjoyed Damn Right on the first listen, but by the second, it lost its appeal. Kali Uchis' feature was the highlight of the entire song. Her verse stood out the most. Her verse carried the song. As for Childish Gambino, his contribution was decent but ultimately forgettable. Jennie tried to take us to church with FTS. I felt like I was in church. I almost started singing Hallelujah. This song was beautiful. One of her strongest songs vocally. I absolutely loved it. The production on Filter was great. Just for the chorus to be completely ass. The song had such a strong build-up, only for the chorus to be painfully underwhelming. It's like they forgot to actually make it engaging. They could have done so much more, but instead, it felt lazy. Like some of Jennie's performances, her vocals and production were the only redeeming factor of this song. This song could have been 10 times better if the chorus was actually good. I genuinely can't decide if I hate Soul City or if I like it. Jennie's voice on this track is so grating it almost makes my skin crawl. She's singing in this high-pitched register that's more uncomfortable than anything. Jennie's voice on this track is like nails on a chalkboard. It makes my ass itch. But as you keep listening to it, it somehow becomes more appealing. The first time I listened to Starlight, it sounded painfully awkward at times, like everything about it was out of sync. The repetition of the lyrics made it sound very childish. There's a strange dissonance that runs through the entire track, making it sound like it's trying to be something it's not. It's as if they couldn't figure out what direction they wanted to take, but after the second listen, it sounded more cohesive. It's not as bad as I thought. Twin is an absolute snooze fest. It clashes with the rest of the album, especially considering the heavy, dynamic production that defines the entire project. Twin is just a very boring, dull, stripped-down track of just her singing over a bland guitar with nothing else. This song should have never made it on the album. What a horrible way to conclude an album. Just because the song is sentimental doesn't mean it's good. Overall, I liked 9 songs out of her album, which is a lot for me. For reference, I only liked 3 songs out of Rose and Lisa's album, and Lisa had 15 songs on her horrible album. Intro, Start a War, with the IE, Extra L, Love Hangover, Zen, Damn Right, FTS, Filter, all made it to my playlist. All in all, I gave her album a 8 out of 10. Overall, this was a good debut album. It showcased Jennie's versatility and her artistic potential, but she desperately needs to refine her lyricism, especially on the rap-heavy tracks. These cringeworthy, juvenile excuses for rap bars are painful to listen to. No one wants to hear that corny-ass shit.